Raw dogging reality. Raw dogging reality. Raw dogging reality. Raw dogging reality. I'm just getting myself into a pumped up state so that you guys can stay pumped up for the first 30 seconds. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is why the law of attraction isn't working for you. And it's not that you suck at it, it's that it's too much based in denial and repression. Example, I want to make $150,000 next year. Actually, I want to make $143,000. I got that from Mr. Rogers. He's like, 143. I love you. One letter in I, 4 letters in love, 3 letters in you. So I want to make the I love you amount of money next year in 2023. That would be manifesting like $50,000 more than I make now. And I'm not acknowledging that I'm actually terrified of making that much money, because then what might happen? What if someone wants that money from me, like Tatiana's family? Or what if I would want to have a kid then? Or what if I didn't sleep enough because I was working too much? Or what if I didn't get to jerk off and watch Netflix? Those are big fears. Plus, like, I don't want to be so adult. What if I want to have a nervous breakdown? You know, I had a nervous breakdown when I was 17. I went to rehab. It was very safe. I don't want to take that off the table for myself by being too adult. So basically, when I do it that way, I've acknowledged my shadow side and I've acknowledged my desire. I want to reprogram myself, neuro-linguistic programming. I will make the I love you amount of $1,000 next year. I bet you I will fucking make it. I'm also fucking terrified of it. Great. Now we're living in truth. We don't have to pretend that I'm only one half of a person. Because if you've been hearing these law of attraction manifestation piece of advice, it's kind of like they're saying, pretend to be one half of a person. Just control your thoughts. That sounds like thought control, 1984. I'm saying, acknowledge your desire, acknowledge your fear. Acknowledge your desire, acknowledge your fear. You can't fear something without also wanting it really bad, even death. You can't want something really bad without also being terrified of it. That's not a very catchy song. So, just trying to stay in the state. So, let's talk about it. Doing that all the time with your self-talk, with emotions, not just the law of attraction. Let's talk about you get overwhelmed with anxiety. I'll talk about myself. Putting myself out here on YouTube land, the exposure, the vulnerability, has given me some anxiety. What do I do with it? Well, what I actually do with it is just go into a spiral of fearful thoughts and codependency. What I would like to do with it is say it's totally safe for me to feel this fear and anxiety. I also feel totally terrified. Holding both. I'm really angry at my wife, my mom, my sister, the world, Governor Cuomo, I don't know. It's totally safe for me to feel the anger I feel with those women and men. It's terrifying for me to feel the fear of all those women and men. Because, you know, when I was little, maybe if I got angry, that was met with anger. So I'm trying to reparent myself with like the law of attraction. It's safe to feel all your feelings, but also acknowledge it feels terrifying. It's safe to feel, what's another one? Grief. I had this thought about my dad the other day, like opening his arms to me like this from like across the room, and how open-hearted this man was, who I lost 6 years ago almost. And it was like almost too much. And like, I don't want to grieve him sometimes because I feel like if I move through the emotions, then I'll lose him, you know? So the grief comes up, and I wish that I said to myself, and I want to going forward say, it's totally safe to feel this grief. It's also terrifying to feel this grief. So this is kind of like emotions non-duality, the game of emotional non-duality. Hey! Sorry, I was trying to get a fly. But I recommend that. I'm going to recommend myself to do that with fear, anger, and grief. I'm going to recommend that with fear of success, a desire for success. I desperately want to complete my novel and publish it. I'm terrified of completing my novel and publishing it. I desperately want to learn how to play the piano. I'm terrified of learning how to play the piano. What if that means I have to practice? What if that means that I don't have as much time to be like a money guy? You know what I'm saying? There's lots of reasons. I don't like doing these with my shirt on. So, I always say Tatiana in the corner. How about let's change that to Dave? So, going forward, we're going to practice as a team holding both sides. Okay? Raw dog in reality, baby. Oh, and I got a new tattoo, Lakshmi. Speaking of manifestation, we're going to put the Gayatri mantra here, and then the left side will almost be done. And since I got Lakshmi on my arm 2 days ago, I raised prices. $30 on one client, $20 on another. That's like, with personal training clients that I see a few times a week, that's like $60, $80, $140 a week more. So I'm rich, biatch. Have a great day.